The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the December 28th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Yeah, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. The easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I am absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't dial in, but you've got a question, well, you can always send me an email. For that, you send to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers, then, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got a sea of red out there. The Dow's off 151, about 0.5%. 0.6 for the S&P. That's down 23. 0.8 for the NASDAQ 100. 88. Russell's down about 0.9 or 15. Semi's down 1 3/10. That's 33 points. 1 2/10 basically for the transports, 155 points. Gold's off $18. Silver's down 48 cents. Light sweet crude off $2. Natural gas is off 64 cents. 30-year Treasury trading down 17 ticks at 124.25. The U.S. dollar index must be trading higher, and it is up 30 pennies or close to 30 pennies. Trade out at 104.18. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Elevance Health up $4. That's about less than 1%. Thermo Fisher Scientific up $3. Wow, we really got a small day out there. Those are the gainers. $4, what, 7/10. United Health is up $2.70, about 0.5%. Yeah, not much to the upside. To the downside, Solar Edge Technologies down $15. Arch Resources down about $12 or 8%. Consolidated Energy is down $10, 14%. Enphase Energy 3% to the downside. Netflix is off $7.50. That's 2 6/10% to the downside. Let's do this. Let's take a look at what I think are the three most important charts for us to monitor over the next couple of days. What are those, Stevie? Well, those would be these three charts here. We're going to switch over. We're going to take a look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame for these three charts, meaning the NQ, the SMH, and the XLK. If we take a look at the NQ, why is this important? Well, today is going to become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. That says that the NQ could or should bottom between today and tomorrow. That bottom should then take us with a rally up to its oscillator and change line. That's currently printing out at 11,226. That is not the number. That's the oscillator and change line is where price would or should move to. The SMHs today will become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. Same playbook here. It should bottom between today and tomorrow. That would then suggest to move up to its oscillator and change line. The center of its bullish structured daily profile, that price close below, really would become the target of a counter trend move, and that would be in the 211.72 area. We take a look at the XLK, the energy sector for the S&P 500, the top weighted sector within inside the S&P. What is it doing? Today will form bar number 9 of a TD9 count. It too should form a bottom between today and tomorrow. Likewise, price should then move up to its oscillator and change line. That would take us into about the 127.19 area. So it's these three charts to watch today, to watch tomorrow. We'll really watch on Friday as well, because if these TD9 count bottoms fail, they would also provide us with a ton of information. That ton of information would say, anticipate, buckle up your seatbelts, and expect lower price out there. For the SMHs, that lower price target would be down in the 186.77 level. But that's not really the pattern that's in play as we speak just yet. Just be aware you've got TD9 counts for these three very important instruments inside of the overall markets out there. Well, if these things are going to bottom, we ought to see a bottom maybe inside of Apple, don't you think? Well, let's go take a look at Apple, which is testing a key swing point. It's below that swing point. We're going to switch back now to the black background screens, if you give me just a moment, which I know you will because you don't have a choice. But now if we take a look at the daily time frame, well, first of all, you'll see that Apple is testing a key daily, weekly, and monthly swing point. 129.04. That happens to be a June swing point low. That was from June well, let me make sure I get that date correct for you, especially for those of you that are doing the same thing on your systems at home. So it is the swing point from the trading session of June the 16th, which did volume of 107 million shares, almost 108 million shares. The volume yesterday inside of Apple was 69 million shares. So price is pulling back. In fact, yesterday was a test and rejection of that swing point. Price is below the bottom of its Bowler structure profile, Apple that is, and a counter trend move should find resistance at 133.91. If price were to close above that, then it would be telling us that it wants to go back and explore the top of that profile, 139.93. Stevie, what happens if price closes below that swing point on lighter volume? Well, if we take a look at Apple, and we're going to try to take a look at an A to B equals CD pattern, this is a daily time frame, we would be using the swing point from October 13th. And that swing point did volume of 113 million shares. As that swing point was passed, it was on this trading session, December 19th, there was 79 million shares. So that is past a swing point on much lighter volume. It's still lighter than that volume on that swing point. So even though we could draw in an A to B equals CD to downside, which it could fulfill that, it doesn't have the volume signal. So what we want to watch at day's end is going to be that 129.04 level. Now on a weekly time frame, so this will take us to Friday. The volume on a weekly basis is 541 million shares. It is Wednesday. Again, a light trading week because of a holiday. We were closed on Monday. We've got 94 million shares, but it's clearly going to not have the volume. Well, I can't say clearly because anything could happen tomorrow, this afternoon, on Friday. But at this stage here, it looks like that swing point is going to be tested with much lighter volume. And on a monthly basis, as we close out the year here, the monthly swing point has volume of 1.7 billion shares. We're at 1.5 billion shares out there. That, too, is likely to have a lighter volume. So the question is, do we at year's end, do we today, do we at week's end, close above 129.04 because there is light volume there. Let's not stop there. Let's go take a look at the index ETFs out here. Let's go see what the Qs are doing. So if we take a look at the Qs, by the way, let me just make sure of that. Q. I didn't check that out. I presume that this too, yeah. So this also is going to form bar number 9 today of a TD9 count. So as we take a look at the Qs here, what are they doing? They're really just trading with inside that swing point from October 13th. That had volume of 112 million shares. You know, you were in it right now with 16 million shares. Yesterday, you did volume of 38 million shares. All this is suggesting we should see some type of counter trend move, at least going into the end of the year. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. That's just a couple of days. We'll be right back, folks.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow down 167, S&P's off 26, NASDAQ 100, about 1%, 102 points to the downside. Our first, and at this stage here, our only question inside the Tiger's Den coming from Bob in Spokane. Bob wants to take a look at ticker symbol PQ, let me make sure I get this right, PRQR, which is PR Pruker Therapeutics out here, which must have solved something because a gigantic gap to the upside on the trading day of December 22nd with 88 million shares. What it traded the day before, folks, was 721,000 shares. So that is a gigantic sign of strength out here. Bob, I don't know if you're in this position or not. Right now it's consolidated. It's a new profile that formed today. The resistance level is going to be, it's high from a couple of days ago at 329. The support level is going to be down at 240. 275, which is basically where price is trading right now, that is the center of its profile. So right now it's sitting where both buyers and sellers believe this is fair value between that range of 240 to 329. If we take a look at the monthly and the weekly charts out here, we'll see that price is above their weekly profile level, so that's a positive. However, you do have a bit of a shooting star candle right now on the weekly time frame, but it's too early to call. We'd have to come back to that on Friday. The reason is because that would be an A to B equals CD to the upside. Which size? A gargantuan one, that's for sure, but it would still be an A to B equals CD to the upside if it generated a bearish reversal candle. Let's switch from these charts here. Let's go take a look at the white background charts, see if there's any signals out there for Bob in Spokane. So momentarily we'll take a look at 3 white background charts. Over on the left-hand side, you've got the daily time frame. On a daily time frame, we don't have any kind of a topping pattern or signal out there. You've got an inside bar today that basically says the prior trend should continue. That trend is to the upside. Here on the weekly time frame, you can see, why is that like that? There we go. A moment here just to move that down. Perfect. So on the weekly time frame, you're going into a gigantic weakness. I don't know what this did on February, the week that began February 7th, but this equity went from 615 down to a low of $1.33 out there. Volume, though, was 38 million shares. So you're pushing into that with volume out there. That's not a reason to think that it can't get all the way up to the top of that swing point at $6.15. And we take a look at the monthly. I don't have a bottom pattern per se out here on the monthly time frame. I've got a TD9 count on the weekly time frame. The weekly has also TD9 counts that have failed, meaning that suggests higher price. The daily time frame had a TD9 count Rhodes momentum indicator top that failed when price gapped to the upside. So everything here in PRQR looks pretty good, but obviously it's pulling back. So where's it pulling back to would be the question. Well, we've got the bottom of that daily profile, 240. So that most certainly becomes one price target. As we look at a 30-minute time frame, we will see a TD9 count and Rhodes momentum indicator top. And then you've got this morning's gap to the downside out there. Price is below the first breakout level of 291. I would anticipate, Bob, that price would go target the 257 area. 257 is the next breakout level. So that's what we take a look at. We take a look at PRQR at the moment. Looks very bullish. Looks like we just have a bit of a retracement or a pullback. And 257 is going to be the price area that we will be observing if you're trying to take some type of long position in this instrument. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request. That was Bob in Spokane. Again, was off, obviously, for, you don't know that, but Friday, really it was Thursday when my virus, whatever it is, and it is a weird virus, kicked back in, and super cold. Coldest that it's been down here in South Florida for 3 decades out there, so that wasn't cool. Actually turned the heat on in the house, so and not feeling that great. Feel good. So the weird thing is, like, yesterday was a down day. I was traveling, but not feeling good. Today, I'm feeling great. It's like every other day, it goes from feeling good, like, okay, this is behind us, to taking a real turn to the downside. In any event out there, hope everybody had a great holiday weekend. Everybody got some rest. I certainly got some rest out there. So rest isn't the issue. And so we'll be recording the show tomorrow, normal time, 11 to 12. And then on Friday, we'll record the show between 8 and 9 in the morning. And obviously, we'll be off the following Monday to celebrate New Year's out there. So if you are listening in, we'd love to hear from you at 877-927-6648, or send me an email like Tim and Hector just recently did here. So let's take a look. Tim's question came in first. Season's greetings. Same to you, Tim. I'm looking for an entry into Sabine Royalty Trust out there. So let's stay with this white background set of charts out there. The ticker symbol is SBR. Let's get those fired up. Can you please take a look at the daily and the weekly time frame? Thank you for another fantastic year, Tim M. Well, thank you very much, Tim, for that. SBR is Sabine. You already told us that. That is Sabine Royalty Trust, which is trading right now at 83.05. What is it doing? So price got up to its prior swing point out here. That was a swing point from the trading session of December 13th. Bearish dark cloud cover candle. So we know that is a resistance level. Price has sold off. But what it's doing right now, Tim, is it's testing that green oscillator and change line on a daily basis. And as long as price remains above that, then it will retain what I would call a bullish outlook to a certain extent at the moment. Why bullish outlook? Because price above the top of its daily profile at 82.10 and it's tested and rejected its green oscillator and change line at 82.52. The weekly time frame chart simply shows a consolidation sideways between profiles. Support is really what has been tested at 78.85. The top of the profile, 89.15, has not been tested, but that is the range that it is trading within. With regard to the monthly time frame, about 6 months ago, this generated a TD9 count top out there. And that's the level that this Sabine Royalty Trust would need to take out to tell you it wants to go to the upside. And that would mean a close above 90.73. So if we're going to summarize Sabine Realty Trust, which we're going to do, we see basically a sideways consolidation. We'll let the weekly chart really guide us there. The daily says, okay, I want to move higher. The green oscillator and change on the weekly time frame, Tim, is resistance at 85.23. If you could ever get it close above that, price should move up to 89.15. On a 30-minute time frame chart, you've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top. That was confirmed yesterday. I take that back. That was confirmed this morning with that bear sash candle out there. Price is below profile, so SBR could or should be pulling back to its breakout level. Look for this to find or try to find a bottom at about $81.60 out there. So, Tim, that's the overall view of SBR. I hope that helps you out. If not, please write back and we'll make sure that we get that information to you and have a happy and healthy as I cough into your ear. New Year out there. Hector wants to take a look at light sweet crude. So let's do this here. Let me switch over to another set of charts out there. We get a multi-time frame. Let's go ahead and pull light sweet crude up. CL, we're on the February contract as we speak. And let's read the question here. Happy, wonderful Wednesday. We'll back at you, Hector and Patty. Crude oil on a live 30-minute chart. What are our thoughts on that? Well, it's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. Looks like in about 3 minutes here, 3.5 minutes, it's going to confirm a bottom. That's what we think about that, Hector. You can see price was moving lower, doing less relative energy. Pretty easy to create a three-river morning star out here. Pretty easy to create a bullish engulfing candle. So unless this sells off in the next 3.5 minutes, the 30-minute time frame chart, Hector, is telling us about a bounce. That bounce should take us to about 78.35. Above that, 78.63. And if price get above 78.63, 79.25 to 79.48 to 79.68 would be your 30-minute target levels. That's where battles would unfold. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metal sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow is off 161. S&P's off 22. NASDAQ is off 84 points. We're taking a look at light sweet crude. Now, we answered Hector's question about the 30-minute time frame chart and what did it show out there. And it did confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Now, there's also a new profile, Hector, that just formed just as we got to that 11:30 time frame. So 78.26, the top of that profile is resistance. So too is its oscillator and change line, which is right in that area. So that's going to be your real key battleground. Now, if we look at a 10-minute chart out there, the 10-minute chart shows that that price close is trading with inside its bullish structured profile. So 78.52 is going to be its resistance level. Price should make it up there. So we got 78.52, 78.26. And on the 15-minute time frame chart, we've got 78.33. So that is your range area where the bullish should start flying out here. Now, if you look at the daily time frame, go all the way over to the upper left, you will see that there's a possibility that today could generate a Gartley sell pattern out there. In order to do that, we need a bearish reversal candle. Price just needs to close halfway into the body of the candle from 2 days ago. Right now, you're actually kind of almost at the low of that session, but it really is going to be important about what it looks like at day's end. If we did get a Gartley sell pattern, well, then right now the signal would be somewhat neutral, even though you have a sell signal, because price is trading above the top of its daily profile. But if price gets below that, which is 76.79, and really what we would say, you would need to get price below its red oscillator and change line, currently at about 76.09. If you got that, then we'd be looking at a retracement all the way back to the lows from back in the early part of December. We don't have that just yet, but I just, I didn't want people to just totally make their decisions off of a 30-minute chart, even though that was very clear what it was signaling to us. We want to also take a look at what's going on the daily time frame. So how would you trade this, Stevie, if you were long light sweet crude? I go to some type of short-term time frame chart out there, knowing that we got the potential daily top, knowing that we've got these resistance battles in the 78 and change area out there, and I would probably use like a 5-minute chart. So let's just pull this over here. And one thing that you could do, if you were to see a close below a prior bar's candle, now just a momentum trade out there. If you take a look at on the move down here, just take a look at what's already transpired and saying, you know what, you do the opposite to the upside. So here to the downside, I did have a topping signal on a 5-minute time frame this morning at 9:30. What we can see is price never closed above a prior high, not until right here at 10:30 this morning, and that would have been the time to have exited or jettisoned, based upon that momentum trade, your long position. I'd say you do just the opposite now. It doesn't matter if it tests the bottom of a prior bar out there. It matters if it closes below that. Now, closing above that prior bar, that tells you that it's still a strong momentum move to the upside out there. This is the 5-minute chart for light sweet crude. It's got resistance up in the 79.33 area. So Hector and Patty, I hope that helped you out and provided you with the information you were looking for light sweet crude. Happy New Year to both of you, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. We have a request inside the Tiger's Den from Seven. Seven wants to take a look at the energy sector. So a nice segue by taking a look at light sweet crude, and now we move over to the XLE. The XLE, as we speak right now, trading out at 86.45. It's testing an area of support, which is its oscillator and change line. The oscillator and change line is red. That's at 86.29. If the XLE were to close below the red oscillator and change line, 7, that would then be suggesting that price should continue to pull back further. The pullback further would say I'm going to go target the swing point, which is from December the 9th out there. So you'd have to watch how price deals with 85.40. That's the top of the profile. If you were to close below it, that would suggest you could get all the way down to the bottom of that profile. Right now, you've got resistance up ahead, so we know where support is at. That's at that oscillator and change line. Resistance happens to be at 89.06, the bottom of its daily profile, which formed above price. That's usually a bearish message out there. If we look at the weekly time frame is saying bearish message. What the Sam heck are you talking about, Steve-O? Well, what I'm talking about here on the weekly chart is we got wave number 7. That's part of the Chapman wave out there, but price pulled back and tested support. And support is 83.53. So price is trading above that. So that's somewhat neutral, but price is trading below resistance, which is that green oscillator and change line. 89.13 is the price that is the level that price would have to close above to suggest a run at those all-time highs. On a monthly basis, the XLE still has a TD9 count that is out there, but price is above its green oscillator and change line, above the monthly chart. So bring it on home, Stevie, for 7 out there. The monthly chart is neutral. The weekly chart is neutral. The daily chart is, it's It's just kind of been a little bit of a consolidation move over the last couple of weeks out there, but it is traded above support and below resistance, so we're going to go with neutral there as well. Can we provide any additional assistance to 7 out there? Well, let's just look at that 30-minute time frame chart. That's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that's been displayed. Price pulls back. It got below the profile levels. If it can regain those areas, that gain is 86.55 would be the number. If we're 86.52, if price can regain that profile, this is a 30-minute time frame, you should see a move to the 86.90 area. Real area where price might be targeting on the XLE to the downside, I don't really have a price target or a pattern as we speak just yet. So that's what I can provide to you for the XLE7. I do hope that helps you out. If not, there's some other piece of information you were looking for. Please let me know what that is, and we will do our best to get to you. I just want to make sure, see if there's any other questions out there. None that I see. We do have one here from Alton. Alton writes in and he says, good morning and happy holidays. Same to you, Alton. Entry point for BLV. So let's go ahead and get the BLV chart up on our screen. Let's try to figure out what BLV even is. Not that that matters, because to us, when we're taking a look at charts and these technical tools, we're agnostic as to time frame. We're agnostic as to whether this is the Vanguard Bond Index funds long-term or not, which is exactly what it is. So Alton says, looking for an entry point. Well, if we take a look at the daily time frame, you had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Today is going to become bar number 7. I would wait to see if a TD9 count bottom pattern fails. The earliest I could give that bottom signal would be tomorrow. You would need a confirmation then on Friday, and then on Tuesday you could get the completion, or you would get the completion of the pattern. So I would wait for that on the daily time frame. Price could be targeting. There's an A to B equals CD to the downside. Let's draw on the A to B level out here. So that is another pattern that is in play. And then we're just going to move the A to B line to the C point out here. So here's A to B. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be close enough for the line of work that we're doing out here. And now we take that to the C point. That gives us a 1-to-1 price projection around 71.42. So you've got the breakout level at 69.80. And you've got an A to B equals CD to the downside. The weekly chart says, hey, I've got a new profile that's forming out here. I've got support at $72, even Steven. No topping pattern that I can see out here, but that does suggest a $72. The A to B equals CD is around 71.46. The monthly chart does not look, I take that back. The monthly chart has formed a buy the D point. It did it last month. And that does say that over time, price should target that oscillator and change line, which currently is printed at 79.84. That's not where it's going to be printed a month from now, or it could be, I suppose, but that just simply becomes a target. So let's bring this home. Well, actually, let's take a look at the 30-minute time here for Alton. And on the 30-minute time frame chart, what do we have? We've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal, no bullish reversal candle. So this is confirming what we just took a look at on the daily, the weekly time frame. You should anticipate and expect lower price. Wait to see if you get that TD9 count, but it might be a Gartley buy pattern that also is your entry point. That was for Alton. Would love to hear from you as well, folks. Give us a call at 877-927-6648 or send me an email. Send that one to steve@tfnn.com. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Folks, Dow's down 175, S&P's up 25, NASDAQ 196 points. And the next question coming in from Nicholas A. Nicholas wants to take a look at the SMHs. His question is, are we, excuse me, are we near a bottom? And I'm going to apologize. I do get these hacking cough outbreaks. They can get pretty violent out there. So I'm hoping that I'm going to avoid that here while we're on the air. The question is near a bottom. Here's what we know, and we take a look at these the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame charts here, Nick, for the SMHs. Is you're going to get a TD9 count bottom signal today. Now, that low, as you know, can come on the bar following bar number 9. So the daily time frame says we should see some type of counter trend rally that begins between today and Friday, basically Friday morning out there. Of course, on Friday, you could get a signal that this TD9 count bottom fails altogether, and then we'd be looking. Wow, it's terrible. Sorry, on a to B equals CD to the downside. And I don't know if it's got the volume or not, but here's what the pattern would look like approximately. And you can see that A to B equals CD would take us back below really the breakout level of 186.77. So there's TD9 count to watch and observe out here on the daily time frame. The reason why it's hard to say whether this is a bottom or not is because on the weekly time frame chart, we had a nice TD9 count bottom. That was back in October. Took price right to its breakdown level, TD9 count breakdown level, 235.80. Generated a nice big old bearish shooting star 3 weeks ago. Follow through last week, closed below the bottom of the profile at 207.49, and now price is trading below a red oscillator and change line. So, which is 200.77. If you close below that on Friday, that's going to suggest lower price or at least a test of the swing point low. Now, it might be the high of the swing point from the week of October 14th, but that's what it would be telling us. So, but still, you've got a TD9 count bottom on the monthly, TD9 count bottom on the weekly, and now you're going to get a TD9 count bottom on the daily. So how do we know if this is going to bottom or not? What you're going to have to do, watching today, tomorrow, Friday, is you're going to have to watch the intraday charts out there. So if we look at a 30-minute time frame chart, just as one example, you do have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal What it doesn't have right now is a bullish reversal candle to confirm that pattern. But what you really know, because we've seen price behavior, if we take a look at our laboratory, we know that there's resistance at the top of the profile, which is at 200.98. And that is exactly where price found resistance. So if the SMHs are going to bottom, or at least give you some type of counter trend move out there, we will see resistance levels on the intraday time periods, 10, 15, 30, 65-minute chart, fail. Nicholas, that's what you would be looking for. So I hope that helps you out. Glad you had a great Christmas holiday, and Happy New Year to you and your family. Sorry for the hacking. Ooh. Because that hacking, what it does, it leads to a nasty headache out there. In any event, let's go to our next question. Next question coming in from Zippity Doodah. Zip wants to take a look at FCX, Freeport McMoran. So as you take a look at Freeport McMoran, here's what we know, Zip. On a weekly basis, 3 weeks ago, this formed a TD 9-count top. And now we've got price trading with inside its profile. Resistance, very clear, 41.16. Price is trading into one level of support right now, which is the center of that profile at 37.89 or 37.84. A close below 37.89 at week's end is going to see, actually, we don't even need that. Because the oscillator and change line changed colors here from red to green, and we have a valid topping pattern, we should see price and that line test each other. What you'd be looking for what you would be looking for is a test and rejection of the green oscillator and change line. Currently printed about 35.47. Ooh. Folks, I don't know if I can do the rest of this. Okay, so that should get back to that green oscillator and change about 35.47 out there. And you're looking to add, that's the area that I would be watching. Now, if we add some other kind of signals out here, we could say now might be the time to add based upon the 30-minute time frame, which has pulled back to its breakout level of 37.77. Here's what I would do, Zip. I'd watch 37.77. If price closes below that, that is going to be a confirmation that price should pull back, should start targeting that weekly oscillator and change line in the 35.47 level. Since you're already in a position here and you're looking to add, that's more likely what I'd be looking for is that weekly pattern to play out there. So, Zip, I hope that helps you out with regard to FCX. Sorry that you had to listen to all that hacking out there. It is what it is. We got another question that came in through the Tiger's Den, and this is for Electric Light Orchestra. I want you to take a look at N-Phase Energy. ENPH is the ticker symbol. So on a monthly time frame, you, in fact, could be getting a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. You've got the bearish engulfing candle right now. Unless this has some kind of significant rally, you should get a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Now, the question is, does price close below that green oscillator and change line, 277.56 or thereabouts? Price closes below that, suggests a further retracement. Well, on a weekly basis, price is trading below its bullish structured weekly profile. That suggests a further move lower. If we take a look at the daily time frame out here, you're in bar number 4. It looks like there was an A to B equals CD to the upside that completed out here. Price should target its breakout level. The breakout level for N phase would be down to about 234. You're trading right now at 264. On the intraday charts out there, you could see a bit of a bounce. The 15-minute and the 65-minute chart each have TD 9-count bottom patterns out there. First level of resistance on any move higher is going to be 268.02. 268.02. The next level of resistance would be at about 278.98. So N-Phase Energy does look like it's going to move lower out there, and 234 is really your price target out there. So I hope that helps you out. Electric Light Orchestra. Other questions? Do we have any other questions? Thanks, Steve. Hey, Ryan, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. Yeah, I've tried just about everything for this throat and this cough. Really, I mean literally, just about everything. I don't know what I haven't tried yet, but I did try the tea thing. I tried peppermint tea. I tried all kinds of stuff. And it does soothe the throat, all kinds of chicken soup, all kinds of everything. This hack, and it's a dry hack right now, the congestion, for the most part, seems to be gone. Like you guys really want the medical history of Stevie over this weekend. Yeah, sure. Anyways, we're going to come back. We'll finish out the show. And Dow's down 209, S&P's up 30. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 200, S&P 29, NASDAQ 100 is off 112. We're taking a look at the charts here for the NQ. Again, there are three charts that I believe we want to follow and watch over the next 3 days. They should reveal a ton of information to us. One of those charts being the NQ. The NQ in the upper left, it's down a little over 1%, 117 points. And you can see that today will become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. That says the NQ should bottom today or tomorrow, and price should move up to that oscillator and change line in the 11,173-ish area out there. 5-hour chart, no bottom signal, nor on the 4-hour chart, nor on the 2-hour chart, nor on the 60-minute, nor on the 30-minute, nor on the 15-minute. The 10-minute chart does have a TD9 count bottom, but I think we're going to probably need more than that. in order to find some type of bottom inside the NQ. The NQ is just one of those charts. The other two, I think we'll just go back to it. We talked about this, so I think we'll go back to it if I have that open somewhere. There we go. The three most important charts to be watching and observing today. That's going to be the Q. Well, really, I guess 4. So it was the NQs and the Qs. You can see the Qs also bar number 9. The SMH is the semiconductor index, bar number 9. If a market's going to bottom, these two are the ones that have to bottom. So it's important to watch this because these patterns could also fail. That means tomorrow we'll get the completion of the pattern, and that'll establish the low of the TD9 count. And if price closes below that, tells us about a strong momentum move to the downside. The other chart sector to watch is the XLK with inside the S&P 500. It too is going to form a TD9 count that will confirm today, will complete tomorrow. And again, so all three of these. So we shouldn't be surprised. We're coming into the end of the year. We're coming into window dressing out there to expect some type of counter trend move. So folks, stay tuned. Thanks for putting up with my hacking. I apologize for that. I was really hoping it was going to be smooth sailing. Anything but smooth sailing out there. But stay tuned. There's great programming lined up. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care, folks.